All right, we are live. Okay, so welcome to the Bitching Dead. We are your hosts, Becca and Farid tonight. Tara's not here; she has laryngitis. So we are a fairly new webcast from the minds at the Geekery, and we are here to bitch about stuff and things because somebody has to do it. If you've not seen the most recent 2 episodes of The Walking Dead, please turn back now. We are not responsible for any spoilers that you hear. We did warn you.
If you're listening to this as a podcast, please remember that this is recorded live, so we aren't exactly sure what's going to happen. So please forgive us for any technical difficulties and accidental or intentional swears. You can join the conversation with the hashtag #TheBitchingDead. And we would also like to remind all of you that the views expressed on this webcast are those of the hosts as individuals and do not necessarily represent the geekery or the webcast itself as a whole. And we also have a Patreon and a Redbubble shop that you can go to in order to support us. So I'll be leaving the links to that in the description below.
All
So yeah,
right.
let's discuss the 2 episodes.
Oh, okay. Um, so I know you're already laughing. So, as mentioned, Tara has laryngitis, so she's not here. She's left the reins, to us tonight, and daylight savings time is really stupid because it's like what 5 a.m. there now
Yeah,
or
it's 5
something.
a.m. here. I mean, on the bright side, I'll get to sleep earlier
Okay, there you go.
because yeah,
Oh my gosh. Anyway, so
they tried doing the savings thing here, but the public refused. They were like, "Nope, we aren't having none of that."
sorry, not gonna happen. Um, all right, so the there weren't very so first of all we're gonna talk about Lost in the Plunderers, which is episode 2, or well, I guess technically episode 10. And I just posted my review because I just came back to work after my accident. It's been really long. But Farid didn't post any favorite moments for this one. Because it's really hard. It's really difficult. It is. Um, like the Lost and the Plunders wasn't terrible, which is saying something considering. However, the terribleness of this past week's episode makes up for any good things ever. Um, but do you have anything good to say about the Lost and the Plunderers, Farid? Because like I would love to hear it. I'm curious.
I I mean, I like the whole focus on Jadis for a bit. I
Mm-hmm.
like that as a character standpoint, but it wasn't my favorite moment. And I was like, okay, so you guys introduced the entire garbage people just to kill them off like that? Okay. And Jadis has this meat grinder, and yeah, it was weird. I
And
understood why they did that. They gave Jadis more layers as a character, but I wasn't really interested in any of it.
I mean, I think that it's interesting. The reason why I liked it is because oh, I think I'm echoing. I would have to say that I like the layers of Jadis, like now that she's speaking in correct like full length sentences instead of sounding like a instead of sounding like a caveman, I suppose.
A
Because
maid of language, yeah.
that was so hard for me to listen to her because I was like, oh my god, stop. But I liked it whenever she started talking in full sentences, and it was kind of like, okay, so you're not totally weird. You know, she was playing a role like like Ezekiel was.
She was an artiste.
And her
She
teeth
made
just
up her own language. An
oh god,
artiste.
she painted naked and with blue paint and just like I like the whole Negan and Rick thing talking on the walkie talkies. Like Rick's like, I'm gonna kill you, Carl's dead. And Negan's like, oh shit, my dude, how did that happen? And this is exactly word for word exactly how their conversation went. And Rick was like, Carl died from a bite. And Negan was like, phew. Okay, so it wasn't just that, it wasn't our people, because like I think he kind of liked Carl, maybe because I don't know. He's kind of like, okay, bring up the next little killers. I don't know. Um, but I kind of liked them talking, and I don't know if that means that I'm going crazy or what. But I mean, there were plenty of pretty crappy moments too. But I guess
I
also,
mean, I mean, showing Negan feel some emotion towards Carl, maybe that was the show's way to lay down the groundwork because we know that he's going to be redeemed.
mm,
He's going to turn good.
yeah,
So maybe they're like placing the groundwork so it wouldn't be that much of a surprise to the audience because like you said, you kind of felt that I guess you wrote that in your review that you
mm,
kind of felt that Negan was genuinely sorry that Carl died. So there
yeah.
is that humane part in Negan.
And I think too that we kind of
So
also
yeah.
see that a little bit. This is not necessarily a good thing about the episode, but something I personally liked is that we see Negan as because everybody up until now it's been kind of like oh, I'm gonna take my baseball bat and kill everybody, blah. But like he's pretty much like he says to Simon, just kill one. He calls them garbage people, which I love. Kill just one garbage person, and Simon is like okay, but hear me out. What if I kill all of them? And Negan's like, Simon, no. And then Simon gets there and he's like, Simon, yes. And so he just kind of lays it into him. He just kills them all. And Negan was straight up like, don't do that, my dude. You know, he says, I had it in my notes. He says, you know, we don't kill people, we save them. And so it's kind of like showing that Negan has a method of his madness.
Yeah, he does. He's crazy, but he still has some sort of logic to
Mm-hmm.
support his craziness and his evil wrongdoings. While that person, who was it, who killed everyone? What was his name?
Simon?
Simon. Yeah, I forgot his name. Like Simon, he just shot everyone.
He
He
did.
didn't. He shot all of the garbage people, and I was like, wow, Simon, wow. I mean, we all knew that he was going to do that.
Yeah.
Even if Jadis didn't punch him, he was going to do that. And I really hope that we see Simon kind of explain his actions to Negan because I think that Negan is going to be the one who will kill Simon.
Yeah, and
That's
I
what I
think
think.
I would definitely have to agree with that too because um you know like I said we do have Negan you know showing them the and I actually wrote about this too and I'm trying to find my notes here because I let's see here we go I found my notes um because Negan was also let's see here um Negan says he says just kill one of the trash people. He said I'm doing my best to hold it together right now. And then that's he said what we do saving people it is hard but it damn well works. So Negan views himself as a god and like he has this huge god complex of I have to save everybody, but if I have to kill one or two people that's okay, but we can't just kill everybody. And I
Then
think
there won't be anyone to save if they kill everyone.
that's exactly what Negan says in episode 11 too. I think that Negan is like a lawful evil, and then Simon is like a chaotic evil.
I mean, like you said about Negan having a god complex, Negan wants people to fear him. Negan wants people to obey his orders.
Yeah,
He wants them to feed his ego. Yeah, you're right.
yeah, and I think though that he experienced because like he used to work with kids. So I think that his connection with Carl was important. And we kind of see a bit with that remorse, but however, that is not enough to save our least favorite moment.
Oh, Lee, I have no idea why Aaron and Enid decided to go to those people. Nothing happened. Nothing happened in this episode.
I kind of wrote on
And
mine um that like they're like how are we gonna kill him and I was like death by 1,000 cuts because that's what it looks like they're about to do to him.
and I actually, and you know, in the last episode, I talked about Enid becoming the new Carl.
Mhm.
And because Enid had so much dialogue in episode 10, this episode, I was like, wow, maybe the writers are going to turn her into the new Carl, or maybe give Carl scenes from the comic books to Enid.
Right.
I really thought that was going to happen because Enid had a lot of dialogue, and she also made some mature comments for her age in that episode about knowing the difference between a friend and an enemy, and not always attacking strangers. So I was like, maybe Enid is going to follow Carl's route about helping strangers and possibly becoming the new Carl. Maybe.
Yeah, and I would like to see. I mean, I would love to see, Enid as, the new Carl with the bisexual, the queer thing. I think that'd be really awesome. Um, and oh, also, I didn't write this down because I totally forgot about it because this is totally, like what the hell kind of thing. I don't understand why they have those subtitles there. Like, it's Always Sunny in Philadelphia. Um, there is literally no reason at all.
And I thought that was a new thing that they were going to do. I was actually looking for those. I was actually waiting for those titles to show up in this episode because I thought that the writers are going for a new thing that before showing each character, they're going to show their title card. But it didn't
Yeah.
happen in this episode. So I was like, why did they put that in the previous episode? What was the reason for that?
I don't know, but I feel like at this point they have all of their ideas in, like, attached to, I don't know, attached to possums, and they let them loose and whichever one they catch, like possum wrestling. I don't know, like, or a pig, I guess. Nobody knows what a possum is. I sound so southern right now. But no, like it was, because like whenever I first saw it, I was like, because they've never ever done anything like that ever before, any artistic anything, never ever. So not only is it dumb to have it the second episode after, like the big premiere, like it's never been done before. They're not obviously not going to be doing it again. Like I said, it was like, I expected there to be a card that goes, "The gang destroys the Alexandria Safe Zone." Like, yeah, and like I have so much stuff here, and also the red machete. I know we don't really talk about that, but that's really dumb. Like, I don't know. Like, I have so many weird comments here, like one-liners that don't make any sense. Like, zip zap, it's a grinder. Zombie kill of the week. They made zombie burgers, but yeah, the trip was really dumb. Enid left and Aaron stared at a tree. Okay. Also, the whole thing with the gazebo. I feel like that's the whole episode just gonna be complaining, or all these, honestly, from here on out, probably. I thought at first I was like, okay, maybe they're trying to redeem it a little bit. It's okay. Like, I can forgive the Enid and Aaron stuff. It's fine. And then I wrote in mine, I was like, I will literally sacrifice Daryl if that will make this show more interesting. Like, I don't care. I will let him go.
Seriously, same here. And the gazebo thing, it was so weird. And I was like, okay, Michonne to extinguish the fire. But if you really care about Carl, you know what? I was actually waiting for Michonne to break that piece of wood, which has Carl's and Judith's handprints. I was like, Michonne was going to take that with her. I kind of thought because she was so emotional about the gazebo on fire. I was like, if you want something, why don't you take those handprints with you?
Yeah, exactly. And like, I mean, I guess it's more difficult to pull that up, but like, I don't even know how they found the fire extinguishers. I don't know where those. I was expecting her, honestly, to like start blasting the zombies with the fire extinguisher, like, but like she didn't do that, and I was so disappointed. Instead, they're like, we're gonna put it out because Coral loved it. Oh. And then suddenly, and then the whole thing with like with the walkers, like you said, they just kind of suddenly magically came out of the woodwork, like.
Yeah, I mean, in the mid-season premiere, no walkers when Alexandria was being attacked. Then Rick and Michonne had enough time to bury Carl, still no walkers. And when they were done, suddenly, magically, walkers appeared. And I was like, okay, wow. And if there were any other characters except Rick and Michonne, there were so many walkers, those characters would have died already. But Rick and Michonne magically, because yeah, they're the main characters, you can't kill them.
I mean, well, we said we can't kill characters, and then they killed Carl off. And then I because like I'm looking through because a lot of the stuff that I write, because whenever I do I basically have my laptop in my lap whenever I'm watching the show. I just start typing down notes and stuff, and but like the whole also whenever they shut the gate, like they ripped off that zombie's face, and I was like, oh.
That was so unnecessary. That was just the makeup department, like, you know, like I don't know, showing what they can do.
Yeah, exactly. Let's just stroke her, just like, oh, look what we can do. Whoop-de-doo, y'all. That's nasty.
And I mean, and seriously, I wasn't expecting when Rick was driving that van away from Alexandria. Conveniently, all of the walkers were staying away from the road. Not a single walker hit Rick and Michonne's van when they drove it out of Alexandria's gate. Not a
Look,
single walker was in their way.
look, I'll have you know that the Captain Walker zombie of all those walkers said, do not get in the way of that car because you will get hit. And I guarantee you that is the reason. That is also the walker that delegates the haircuts and the grass cutting and make sure everybody's cars are clean and everybody has gasoline. Yeah, that's
New
Captain Zombie,
new
President
spin-off
Zombie.
new spin-off show, Fear the Walking Rick. It starts off with Captain Zombie being very happy and gung-ho about wanting to kill Rick, but as the seasons progress, he realizes that no, Rick can't be killed, and now they're actually fearful whenever Rick's on screen because that means that they are going to die and Rick is going to survive.
I think I smell some fan fiction or oh my gosh, let's do that. Let's act that out with Legos. A stop motion. It'll be better than what's on TV right now.
Yeah. Stop motion Walking Dead.
Oh my gosh. Like it's like
And
just like Tim Burton directed it. It'll be perfect.
and wrote so many letters. I don't know why. He wrote a lot. If I was going to die, I don't think I would have enough energy to write so many letters to who knows who. Okay, I get that he wrote a letter for Michonne. He wrote one for Rick. He wrote one for Negan. I get that. But Michonne was holding a bunch of letters, and I guess we don't even know who those letters are for.
I know that there is one for Rick, Michonne, Negan, Enid. He wrote one for Enid. I imagine he probably won't wrote Judith, Maggie, maybe Daryl, maybe Sadiq. I don't know. I'm really reaching here. I'm sorry. I thought the episode was okay, like not as shitty as like the premiere, but it's like one tiny baby step crawl backwards, and then it was like a bungee jump backwards for this next episode. It was awful.
Oh, did you think that Rick was going to leave his gun at Carl's grave?
Okay, look, I'll have you know that it is super modern feng shui zombie art to leave guns on people's on their graves, okay? Because like he left it there, and I was like, bitch, that got bullets in it. And so no, but then he pulled it off. He's like, oh, yeah, and he's like, I was like, okay, so that's a very nice decoration, Rick, but take the gun. Like, come on now.
You need
So,
it. And I was so glad that he took it away. I was like, that's a perfectly fine working gun. Don't leave it at the grave.
I mean, it was almost like he was expecting Carl to come out and be like, I'm okay, like brushing the dirt off and like take the gun and put the cowboy hat on. Yeehaw. Like I thought that maybe that's what he thought. I don't know. But I just the whole time I was watching, I was kind of like, uh. And that's the face I make when things suck. So all right, so that was kind of our the gripes and what the F moments. Now this past episode last night, it was called Dead or Alive or. And that's kind of saying something to what Negan says in the episode, Dead or Alive or, about whether, like, what
Or
exactly the
something in
walkers are.
between.
Yeah, like something in between.
In between.
So let's go ahead and get started on this wonderful episode and all of our emotions that we feel about it. And so this episode is probably the most boring episode I have ever seen in my entire life of any TV show ever. And I have seen all seasons of Lost, okay?
I mean, you can literally skip this episode if you want. Like, nothing
Yeah.
happened.
I mean, the only thing I think that really, like, the only two things that I had here, as far as, because they were really, like, Negan has a nice haircut. I mean, that's about it. Like, he got the whole short on the sides, long on the back. Like, he has that waste your time haircut. And so I'm going back to the notes I had for episode 1, because, like, I literally have to look at my notes because I was just so incensed by how dumb this episode was. So you have Daryl and Rosita. Who cares? Now, so I guess we're gonna get down to business right now with Father Gabriel and Dr. Carson, Rev Gabriel, road tripping. Jesus, take the wheel. What up? All right, Farid, tell us how you feel about this.
I mean, the moment it was revealed in the premiere that Siddiq was a resident, that he had medical experience, I knew that Dr. Carson was going to die. And I was just
Yep.
waiting for him to die in this episode, and it still took way too long for that dude to die. It made no sense. And then there's the whole Gabriel vision thing. Like they like they did something to the camera to make it seem like you are seeing what Gabriel is seeing. And I was like, don't do that, Walking Dead. We don't need that. No one's asked for that.
Look, okay, so in the US, right, you take driver's classes, okay, and they give you these goggles. They're called drunk goggles, and you wear them, and it literally looks like that. And you have to drive a golf cart drunk, and like that's literally what this was. And I was like, if I wanted to see this, I would have gone back to driver's ed. But no, it was very weird. It was like, so Gabriel's losing his vision. That's cool. Obviously, I don't know out of all the things why they chose him to lose his vision. See, Jesus was my least favorite character. But for a lack of Jesus, the character, there's a lot of other Jesus in this episode. And literally Father Gabriel, like, I was sitting there watching the episode with my dad. He's a very conservative Christian, and he just sighed and he went, Jesus, take the wheel. And I was like, it'll probably be better than that one episode where Jesus literally did take the wheel and ran Rick and Daryl off in that truck. Yeah. But like, I mean, like, he's still sweaty and yucky.
I don't know what this show is trying to do. Are you trying to say that you should be religious? Because a lot of things that Gabriel did, it felt weird. Like he was able to shoot the zombie that was trying to kill Dr. Carson, even though he shouldn't have been able to, as if the writers are saying that, yes, God is overwatching these characters, and what Gabriel thinks is real or whatever, that God still has a plan for humanity. But then there's a whole other show where there's no mention of religion or anything. Like, I guess except Gabriel, no one is really religious.
Yeah, and I think because I mentioned this, that I was going to be doing the webcast to my dad, and he was talking about how that the whole thing with Dr. Carson getting shot, like, because like there's so many Deus Ex Machina moments in this episode, it makes me sick. Like them randomly magically finding those pills, antibiotics in the this guy is just overdosed on whatever we can assume is pain pills and alcohol. Then he tied a bag around his head, and my mom was like, "Why did you do that?" And then I had to explain to her like why people do stuff like that, and that was pleasant because she was looking at me the whole time like, "Are you okay?" And that's always fun. But no, they found the pills, and they magically found the keys, and magically found the map. Um, Also, why isn't Maggie more pregnant? It's been a while, hasn't it? Like it's been a while since Glenn has died, right?
I guess Maggie is like 3 or 4 months pregnant at this point. I guess. So she's probably not showing that much. Who knows? Who knows? There's no timeline in The Walking Dead.
No, no, there's not.
For all we know, Maggie could end up getting going into labor in the next episode, just when Negan is going to attack. Who
Yeah,
knows?
exactly. And then Negan delivers her baby, and everybody's happy. Amen. So so I'm looking. Let me go back to. Okay, so yeah. So apparently, not a lot of walkers, considering the sound that that metal was making, clanging
I
on.
mean, Gabriel could hear that way far when he and Dr. Carson was way too far, and Gabriel could hear that, and no walker was able to hear that clanging sound of the metal, and I was like, oh wow, like it didn't make any sense to me.
Maybe the walkers were so used to hearing it though, because I feel like it had been clanging for a while.
I
But
don't know. I don't think walkers are that smart to kind of understand which sounds they're supposed to ignore and which sounds they aren't supposed to ignore.
I mean,
Or
they know how to
maybe
cut
these
lawn.
walkers are. Maybe these walkers are. Who knows? And no one, not even. Okay, I can get Gabriel not being able to read the sign, the message on the metal board. Even Dr. Carson didn't read that.
I mean,
And And also, didn't Rick and the others find Dr. Carson way back in stranded in some house,
wait, you said stranded? Yeah, they were in some kind of like a hunting lodge or something.
and they were attacked, and Rick
Wait,
and his group saved them and took them back to Hilltop? Was there Dr. Carson in there?
ooh, I don't.
Dr. Carson was in there. That's why he agreed to help Maggie, right?
He was in the. Was he in the? I don't remember. I have to go back and rewatch that. I don't remember that.
Yeah, Dr. Carson was in the cabin that was attacked, that Rick went to save those people, and he brought them back to the Hilltop. And that's when the doctor was like, I'm going to help Maggie because I'm a doctor, as far as I can remember.
Trust me, I'm a doctor.
Yeah, I'm a doctor. And I'm like, okay. And also the fact, has Dr. Carson never been outside? That dude can't even read a map properly. He doesn't even know where they are and where the hilltop is.
Yeah, like I don't know. I feel like he just kind of has been that character that people have just been kind of like put in a pod and they take him from place to place. Um Maybe I don't know exactly. Dr. Carson thus far has been pretty useless. Um I mean, like what he gave Maggie an ultrasound and then like is that the only thing pretty much that he's done?
Yeah, and he gave her some prenatal vitamins and nothing else.
That's right. Yeah.
Yeah. So he isn't totally useless. He
Right.
did.
Now we do have kind of like a moment to take off to the side here. You have Henry asking Morgan and Carol who was that killed his brother. And is it Jared? Jared, that long-haired idiot, is standing there like, "Meh." And so and they could have told him, but in the episode they don't tell him. I don't know if they're just trying to. I don't know if they're realizing that maybe like this is after they found the news that Carl is dead. Which, by the way, that part with Eden crying and screaming actually did make me tear up a little bit. I was like, oh, are these failing? Um, but they did not let they didn't tell Henry that it was Jared who killed Benjamin. Why do you think that is?
Because they want to save him. They don't want him to become a psychopath, I guess. Because as Carl said, he's a kid. He already killed Gavin. And if they had told Henry that Jared was the one who killed his brother, I mean, Henry would have gone to kill Jared as well. So, so saying that Gavin was the one who killed Benjamin and that Henry already has his revenge, they are trying to save this kid from becoming a psychopath. That's what I think. And they want to protect any innocence that he has at this point. Because as Carol said, he's just a kid. He is feeling this sort of anger and some sort of an adrenaline rush that he wants to kill people. But when he grows older, or when he gets some sort of a mental like relief, or when he's like relaxed, all of these things are going to come back to haunt him, and that's not going to make for a very mentally stable young person.
No, I think that because you had Lizzie and Mika killing. That was her name, Mika. Mika killing, or no, it was Lizzie that killed people because she was totally knucking butts. But yeah, I guess they're trying to protect him. It was weird. Also, we have swamp zombies back. What up, swambies? Let's go. Yes, yes, we love the swambies. No, we don't. What did I say? I told you swambies would be back. Swambies are back in style. Swamp zombies.
You were right. You were right.
That was also a dumb thing. Very dumb. Also, the whole thing with Rosita and Tara, which, oh my god, please just die already. I'm so tired of Tara. And Dwight now is back with the Saviors. Because Tara tried to shoot him and chase him through the woods. And then so he led them away. And Daryl screamed at Tara, which is the most emotion I think I've seen Norman Reedus show in this season since maybe season 3 or season 4. Or maybe since Beth. No, probably since Beth. No, he just started screaming, and I was like, my dude, chill out.
I have no idea what they're trying to do with Tara. I liked her character when she was introduced. I liked her. I liked Tara as sort of a moral compass of the group. She was friendly. She was ready to do stuff. But now they have turned her into this annoying, immature character that I've been reading the online comments, and people aren't happy with Tara. So maybe they're going to like kill her by the end of this season. And that's why they're turning her into a character that people don't feel too bad about if she dies. So that's why they're like trying to change her character into something that we aren't really familiar or used to seeing Tara act like that. Okay, I get that you're mad about Denise dying, but chill. You need to chill.
And I think that because Daryl is like, look, if I can forgive him, you can forgive him. Because like Daryl is like, look, yes, he's a dick. Yes, we don't like Dwight. But he's led us this far. Just hang on for just a bit more. You don't have to kill him yet. But then Tara's, and so she's like, but can I just kill him a little bit? And Daryl's like, Daryl, no. And then of course Tara's like, Tara, yes. And so that whole weird thing, and then Rosita is also becoming a character that I don't really care very much for, just because she's boring. But then again, we need all the women and POC characters that we can get. Let's be real.
The show doesn't know what to do with Tara and Rosita. Even though they are female characters, the show has no idea how to handle these two. They know how to handle Maggie because they have the comic book source. They are handling Carol quite well, even though there's no comic book source for them to follow. But Rosita is dead in the comics. And Tara is an original character as well. And they're messing her up.
Yeah, it was weird. It was the whole thing. I don't know. The whole thing was weird. I wish I could also the whole bear traps thing with Gabriel miraculously shooting the zombie and then only to have somebody shoot him. Only to have somebody shoot Dr. Carson. Yeah. Yeah, because they were because Gabriel's so proud of himself. And I'm sorry, but if you can drive after you had a bear trap on your freaking leg, I don't know, pretty badass, but also pretty gross. And also, I don't know, it just, the whole thing was it's all very hokey, and to be honest, I'm kind of tired of it.
Dr. Carson wasn't even in pain. Like he got a bear trap can literally like rip your leg out, like cut it in half. And the doctor was fine, and he was able to walk. He wasn't wincing in pain. He didn't fall unconscious. He was okay. And I was like, those are some very low quality bear traps.
Yeah, a bear trap is meant to trap a bear. It literally like animals chew their own legs off to get out of these things. And it just Trump was like, do it, Trump, Trump. It crunched, he crunched to be a meme. I'm such a meme person lately. But it was just dumb. And then they take Gabriel back and they sit him down in Eugene's little workshop, which, by the way, Eugene is a piece of shit. I just want somebody, that girl should have slapped the hell out of him.
I was waiting for that. And I think she would have done it if Negan hadn't arrived.
I would agree with that. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, she would have slapped him when he was talking about his eyebrows wanting to be wiped away. I was like, slap him.
He was so awful. And he's like, ma'am, like, it was basically the zombie, like the Walking Dead version of get in the kitchen and make me a sandwich. But instead he was like, get in the kitchen and make me an omelet. But I don't want an omelet. I actually want tomatoes and I want it scrambled. And the other guy was like, yeah, I want peppers in mine. Like, excuse me, sir. Like that, it was bad writing. It was lazy writing. Eugene is a piece of shit. I am tired of him. I just wish they would hurry up and get rid of him, get rid of Father Gabriel, get rid of Tara, get rid of Rosita, get rid of Daryl, just push them. Rick, you know what? Rick can go too. Just push him, put him in a wheelbarrow and just flip him over a cliff. Like that's fine with me. Just leave him go. Just let him go.
Like what Rick said to Jadis. I don't want her dead. I just want her gone. So I'm like, Rick, okay, I don't want you dead, but I want you gone from this show. I don't want to see you anymore. Just go.
Yeah, exactly. And also like Dwight does apologize for killing Denise too.
But then again, what is an apology going to do?
Nothing. It's not going to bring her back.
Oh, I killed someone. I took away their life. Sorry.
What is it? I saw this one thing that said, I feel there is remorse is the new sorry, not sorry of the zombie apocalypse.
Yeah, I feel remorse. I mean, you killed a person, and sorry isn't going to bring them back.
Yeah, so it's just, there's not a lot of, anyway, so I'm done with Tara and Rosita. We talked about Eugene, and then Sadiq. Then they all come back and they open up the group, and everybody comes in and they're like, and then of course Daryl, like they don't actually see it, but Daryl says not Carl, or Carl's dead, or something like that. Like you read his lips, and then just Enid loses her mind, which was very emotional for me personally.
And I liked Maggie hugging her in that scene. When the camera panned out, I liked that Maggie was there to comfort Enid.
Yeah, and I would agree with that. I did like that. I think I thought that was really sweet. Because everybody else kind of leaves, and they're even in the background at one point. Enid is standing there and she's still crying, and like she's not being like held or anything.
And also that scene you mentioned, the gate opening. Daryl was holding Judith, and I was like, Daryl, did you take Judith away from that man who was carrying Judith on his back? So just so that you can get that shot. Like he took Judith away and he was carrying Judith, and Daryl's like, yeah, I'm going to be the center of the shot. I need a baby. I need to hold the baby. I need to look cool. And I was like, that poor man had been carrying Judith for who knows how long.
And as we've discussed before, Judith is one ugly ass baby. I'm sorry, but she is not attractive at all.
She looks like a little gremlin. I'm like, sorry, but she looked like a little gremlin in that swamp scene where she was sitting on the ground. I was like, oh, that's a gremlin.
Maybe I was like, okay, low key, maybe a zombie will come up out of the gate, like the swamp, like an alligator, and just and like chomp. an eater, and I was like, please, God, please.
Zombies don't. I don't think zombies would eat a gremlin.
You know what? You don't know what Swambies like, Farid. Maybe Swambies like gremlins. Who knows? You don't know because you're too
They
busy
might.
judging.
They might raise Judith as their own. Who knows?
Born a gremlin bastard, now a swamp zombie. Swampy Judith, the Judith Grimes story. Or the hold on, Judith Walsh Grimes. I don't know. I don't care. I'm done. So
Rick
also,
killed my real father.
oh my gosh. Yes. He did nothing wrong. And rubbing the back of it. She walks around rubbing the back of her head like this, like Shane used to do. Listen, Walking Dead, if you're listening to us, we have some really great ideas. Allow us to share with you what we think should happen. Now Sadiq comes up to Maggie. He's like, "I'm sorry, blah. And he's like, do you have a doctor's office?" And Maggie was like, "Are you hurt?" And he was like, "No, I'm a doctor." And Maggie was like, like, one doctor dies, another comes along.
I'm so lucky. My baby is so lucky. My unborn child is so lucky.
Yes, I will have a resident medical student delivering this child in a bathtub in about 4 seasons.
And Maggie was like, in the trailers. And I was like, which trailer, Maggie? Sadiq is probably going to search every trailer to find a little clinic.
Oh my gosh. I mean, they did set one on fire, so who knows? But they also the whole thing about them with the prisoners feeding prisoners. So pretty much so there's still okay, so I have my ending notes were, and now Rick is back, and who the hell cares? But let's take a minute to discuss the whole zombie guts thing, the gore thing, because isn't there another who is it that puts the zombie guts on the weapons? Who is that? Because isn't there somebody in the comics that does that?
I think the Whisperers might do that. I think the Whisperers do that. They also wear those zombie masks in the comics.
Yeah.
So maybe they'll be introduced by the end of the season. Who knows?
I'm gonna do a quick Google and find out.
Yeah, and I was actually surprised that Eugene came up with that plan. And okay, I don't like Eugene as a character, but you can see that Negan knows how to properly utilize Eugene and his smartness or survival tactics or whatever you call them. Rick just wasted Eugene. Like if Rick had partnered up with Eugene, who knows what plans or what great things Eugene might have like helped Rick with.
Right. So it says here that that in the comics it says here that I don't know if this is just from the comics themselves or it is the comics. Okay. Because it says here that Negan comes up with a plan to let's see. Sorry, I'm looking to see here. Living zombies prisoner. Oh, that was a Whisperers.
Yeah.
It says that Negan they skin and clean the walkers, blah blah blah. I'm looking to see where Negan. It says that Negan tips the walk because I feel like that the Negan does tip the guts. Tip the weapons, the savior weapons and guts.
I don't know. I don't remember that from the comics though.
It says here also like there's a theory that says let's see, sorry. It says here that okay, who cares? Okay, whatever. I never found it. I'm sorry. I didn't find it. But talking about I was reading here that that there's a theory about the guts, that apparently that maybe the reason why Rick is holding his arm at the end of the season is because he's been infected with zombie blood. Because you know how he's
Oh.
sitting there weirdly with like his hand like this. I was reading a theory just now about that, and I was like, interesting.
I mean, it still doesn't make sense that zombie blood and guts can like infect you if you have small cuts. Didn't we have already seen people like covering themselves with zombie blood and guts, and micro tears on the skin is a thing. So if they were able to be infected, why didn't we see an infection like that sooner?
I don't I don't know. I'm not really sure exactly what they're planning on doing. Like I don't I don't know. It just um let's see
Who
here.
knows?
Oh, it is in the comics. It is in the comics that Negan uses the bat with the blood.
But does something happen?
Um I'm not sure if they I'm looking for it in the this is I mean, I'll probably have to write about it a little bit. Because like they think that maybe Father Gabriel has an infection since he's going blind. Um
Maybe Gabriel is turning into a zombie. But when you get
Maybe.
infected like that, the process is different. Who knows?
Okay, it says here that Negan does do that. He does infect them with the Walker blood in the comics. Um so I
But
don't know. I think
aren't they all already infected
they
with the
are
same virus?
well, I think that they're trying to get them to turn faster,
But
maybe.
still, all of them already infected. The virus that the walkers have is already present in the humans that are living.
But Negan and them don't know like I think that was it Brenner that tells Rick that they all have the virus and I don't and Rick tells everybody else, but I don't know if anybody else has realized that everybody already has the virus.
Yeah, maybe Negan doesn't know that.
He may
Because
not know.
yeah, because it's already canon in The Walking Dead that even if you have the virus, you can't. I don't know. I'm not sure yet. The this show's microbiology is messed up. I don't know.
Um let's see. Okay. I mean, I'm reading here it says in the comics that Dwight comes back and that he shoots Rick uh he shoots Rick in the side with an arrow at the same time that they start doing the germ warfare, but that he does it with an uninfected arrow. So trying to give Negan like think that he's killed Rick, but he's not actually killed Rick. I don't know. That's just what I was reading here just now, and it's so convoluted at this point that I will accept a death. I will accept everybody's deaths. I will accept the episode, like the season ending, or the series ending. Like it's got to go. It's got
But
to
the
go. Like
but the series isn't ending. That's what I wanted to talk about. The ratings that the people who are in charge of creating this series, they actually want to create a Walking Dead universe, like a Walking Dead TV universe. They already did Fear the Walking Dead, and now they are thinking of another spin-off.
wait, there's another one. What's the other one?
They are they're planning it. They don't know yet, but they're planning it.
Oh my gosh,
Maybe in some other country or area, who knows?
this this is like this is like J.K. Rowling. Like they should have just left it alone. And that they keep coming back to. They keep throwing it up and eating it and throwing it up. And like, I mean, like The Walking Dead was good up until season maybe like I enjoyed it up until season 5. After Beth died, I just didn't care anymore. Not just because she died, but because everything, all the hope, whatever was gone. And but now, you know, we're looking at potentially losing Lauren, who plays Maggie. And I know that you know a bit about that. I know that um, is it Kari who plays Ezekiel has, said, hey,
Yeah, pay
pay
the
her what she's
woman.
asking. Yeah, pay the woman. Yeah.
And I was
And
like, he showed the support, and I was like, is he still working for the show, or is he going to die by the end of the season? And that's
um,
why he's being so supportive of Lauren, because none of the rest of the cast hasn't said anything about it.
they have to. I know that if they're still alive on the show, they're not allowed to give it any interviews, is what I heard.
But still, Ezekiel took to Instagram to show support for Lauren, but no one, even the cast members who know Lauren for years, Andrew, there's Carol, the actress who plays Carol, they didn't write anything about it.
Right, and I I don't know. It makes me wonder if he really, because I mean, but then again, also he would have a silence clause, so I don't know if he'd be allowed to speak out regardless. So maybe, I mean, maybe he is. Maybe Ezekiel is not long for this world. Maybe he is going to die because is it Ezekiel who has his head cut off and put on a pike?
Ezekiel and Rosita,
Oh, cool.
the
Okay,
comics.
good. Good. Yeah, so they have their heads cut off cuz he's also didn't he also have his head cut off put on a pike or
Both of them, Ezekiel and Rosita, both of them.
yeah, what about Heath though? I know Heath is missing.
Oh, no, I don't remember. But there were a
Oh,
lot of people that had their heads on the pike in the comics. It was a
that's
whole event.
is that for the Saviors or is that the Whisperer?
The Whisperers, I guess. Yeah, the Whisperers. The Whisperers
Okay.
did that.
Now what are you seeing about the low ratings? Because I know that you mentioned this to Tara and I in our chat.
Yeah, so episode two's ratings came in, and they were as low as the ratings for this show way back when it was low in season one. So yeah, the show has dropped way too low. It's still the highest viewed show for AMC, but being in your eighth season with all of these new characters and still not beating the ratings that you used to get in season one, that's not good. And the excuses. Did you guys read the excuses they're coming up with?
No, I didn't. What is it?
The excuses that they're sharing is that, oh yes, we know that during season one Walking Dead was huge, in season two it was huge, three and four on, but now we are in season eight. It has been 8 years since this show has aired, and the viewing habits of people have changed. We now have Netflix, we now have streaming, and that's why the ratings are falling. And people are like, we aren't buying that, because there are still a lot of shows that are doing very good as far as the ratings are concerned. Like,
Right.
there are still shows that are overperforming when compared to Walking Dead. So the Walking Dead ratings are dropping because of poor writing. Like, you can't excuse it and use Netflix and streaming and digital media as excuses, because I laughed at this. I remember when Teen Wolf's ratings were dropping, and Jeff Davis said that, oh no, we don't really care about the live day ratings because we have millions of viewers who watch the show online. And I was like, yeah, okay,
Hey, be careful for me.
whatever you
If
say.
you say Jeff Davis three times in the mirror, he'll appear and say, "Tell Farid I said, hey, be careful, my dude, be careful."
Okay, coming to back to Jeff Davis, I have to say this. Okay,
Please, please.
now, okay, so recent interview came out for Jeff Davis. I guess it came out like yesterday or the day before that. So Jeff Davis, when Teen Wolf was cancelled, he wanted to reboot the franchise, Let the Right One In.
No, 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 no,
Yeah,
no, 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 no,
he
no, no, no.
wanted to reboot that for TV, and he also wanted to reboot War of the Worlds for TV.
I will fight him. I will
Yeah,
personally go to his house and I will fight him if he touches any of those franchises.
So these were the two franchises that he was like shopping around. He even like filmed a pilot for the Let the Right One In apparent, and it's rumored that he filmed the pilot using his own money because no network was backing him up. And even when he showed that pilot to different networks, no one bought it. So now Jeff Davis is without a job right now. And in his recent interview, he was like, "I'm itching to start a new show. I want to start a TV show and become the showrunner." So now he's like shopping the idea at MTV to reboot Teen Wolf again. And I'm like, Jeff, no one's going to buy that either. You ruined yourself with Teen Wolf. There's no coming back. You can't come back from that. The online fandom will like destroy him if he even decides to come back with any show.
It's like anytime, like, I'm trying to think of, I guess an animal shows up, like a mole or something in your garden, you go after it with a freaking, like, it's like my dad with the deer. Whenever the deer come and eat our garden, like, the deer come up and they're just like, oh, nobody's gonna see us, and my dad comes running out with a rake. Get gone. Like, we will Jeff Davis, if you're listening to this, Farid and I will personally chase you off with a rake if you decide to touch Let the Right One In or War of the Worlds. I will fight you. If you're listening to Jeff Davis, I will fight you.
I mean, he already reads my reviews, so my online writing was enough to annoy him or whatnot. So yeah.
Okay, Jeff Davis, this is an invitation. Hand-to-hand combat, my dude.
Yeah, let's do that.
I'm probably not as tall as him, but I probably weigh like twice as much as him. Anyway, so let's not threaten violence to TV executives, or unemployed TV executives. I'm sorry. I don't like, this has become from the bitching dead. This has turned into Farid and Bekah bitch about other things. Like, because Tara's not here to get us on track. As we giggle like children. But yeah, so Walking Dead has amazingly low ratings. I'm hoping, like I said, that with Scott Gimple as the chief content officer, or AKA, campus police, like he's like campus police at a college, like he has no real power. I'm hoping that the new producer will, kick these people's butts, and I hope that maybe she'll be able to undo some of the damage. Like, I think it's been dealt already. I think that there's a lot of damage that's been dealt, and I think that if they try hard enough and if they get some quality writing on the show, I think maybe they could potentially save it. But right now, I don't see there's any way for them to save it.
I mean, they didn't learn their lesson. I was going over the ratings for this show. The first drastic rating fall, about 50%. They lost 50% of their viewers when they killed Glenn and Abraham. They they lost 50% of their viewership. And now with Carl, they have lost about 30 to 40% of their viewership.
And so the rest of us just watch it out of spite and hatred, and the other people actually genuinely think it's...
I mean, the writers, it's the Jeff Davis thing again. I won't apologize to make the comparison, but it's the same thing. The Walking Dead writers can't understand that their writing is way too poor, and the people who are watching this show aren't watching the show for the plot or the story. They are attached to the characters. If you take that character away from them, they don't care about your show or what happens in there. It was the same with Teen Wolf. You take out a few characters that are fan favorites, they aren't going to tune into the show because your writing, your plot, your pacing itself, it's way too poor to keep audience interested. The Walking Dead doesn't realize that, or maybe they don't want to realize that.
I think that The Walking Dead is, you're right, I think The Walking Dead is very arrogant whenever it comes to taking away these characters. And like, everybody's like, if Daryl dies, rewrite it. But like, when talking to other people, I'm realizing that yes, Daryl's cool, like he's okay. And I really liked him at first, but like, I got attached to the other characters, and once Beth died, I just kind of lost interest in the show. And I think that they are not creating characters that people care about anymore. and the characters that we do care about, like you were saying, originally caring for Tara, now they're writing them in such a way that we no longer care about them. And that's the core of writing, is that you create characters people get attached to. Yes, there's a great story there, but if these characters are not written well, people do not care anymore.
And if the characters are written well and you have fan favorites, people will continue watching no matter how bad the show gets. They will continue
Yeah.
watching. But in The Walking Dead, they took away Glenn, they took away Carl. There's nothing left. Like the plot itself, no one is. I don't think anyone is really interested in the whole Negan Rick storyline.
No.
Because as far as I'm concerned, myself included, Negan has overstayed his welcome. I need a change. Negan, okay, fine, Negan is there, but they should have introduced a new villain like 2 seasons ago. I've had enough of Negan.
I mean, I liked the way that the governor was done. He came in for a little while and then he left and then he came back, and I was like, and not once was I like, I'm so tired of the governor. Like, I genuinely did enjoy him as a villain. I like Negan, I do. I don't like his behavior. I think he's a reprehensible, horrible person. Even though he does supposedly get he gets a redemption or whatever, like, that still doesn't change the fact that he's, a sexual abuser and he's a horrible murderer or whatever. But like, everybody's a murderer, I suppose. But anyway, so I think that there's, I don't know. I'm gonna keep watching the show because I have to review it, and also because pure spite. But like, the last night's episode was so bad that I was tempted just to like not even bother watching. Like, it really was that, it really is that bad.
I mean, then maybe it makes sense because my mom enjoys this show because she binge watches it. So maybe if you binge watch this show, it might be better. Who knows?
Yeah, I can see that actually, because I
If you
used
binge
to.
watch this show and you like fast forward through some of the scenes, if you want, it
Yeah,
might be a better experience because watching this show every week when literally nothing happens is a chore.
it is a
They should
chore.
just shift, yeah, they should just shift to Netflix and like release the entire seasons there, except for making people wait a whole week and like bear a terrible episode just so something might happen during the finale. Who knows?
And I mean, that's kind of, unfortunately, that's the kind of person I am. Is I'm just like, I've been holding on hope for 3 seasons now that something will happen,
And nothing
and
happens.
nothing happens.
Nothing
Exactly.
happens.
And
Nothing has
like, basically, I feel like that the mid-season finale and the mid-season premiere and then the season finale, like, I feel like the premieres and the finales should be the only episodes. Like, maybe do them, for an hour and a half. I don't know. And like, or do it like Game of Thrones, where you have to pack it all really fast. Game of Thrones has gone downhill too. But that's beside the point. But no, it's literally the other it's like filler. It's like the middle episodes are filler for and vehicles for the plot that we no longer care about. And it's like having to eat all your vegetables before you're allowed to have dessert. And there is no dessert. Like, you find out that there is no dessert.
I hope that AMC puts its foot down. And I know that the show has already been ordered for a season 9. It has been confirmed. But I really hope that AMC is like, yo, the ratings are falling. You need to cut down the number of episodes you do each season. That might help to tighten the story because there are way too many episodes per season. Like everything that happens in like 15 to 16 episodes can be resolved in like 8 to 9 maximum episodes maximum. This show has way too many episodes for it.
Yeah. I would
They
I would
need to
I would
cut.
definitely agree.
Yeah, they
And
need
I
to
think,
cut down the episodes for season 9.
yeah, I really hope they do, because I'm not about to sit through, 16 episodes of a season where nothing happens. Um, like, well, I say that I'm not about to, but yeah, the past 3 seasons, here I am. Who's the real
I
dummy
mean,
now?
nothing happened. Rick and Negan are at the same place. we heard Rick say that he was going to kill Negan way back when he attacked Glenn and everyone. And
Hmm.
even in this episode, they are at the same place. Rick is like, Negan, I'm going to kill you. And Negan is like, Rick, just stop.
Yeah. And and he's and Rick and Negan says, I've already won, like, just stop, you've lost. Like, that's literally what all of us have been screaming at Rick since season 2, since the end of season 2. Like, this is not a democracy, this is a dictatorship. Rick, sit your bitch ass down. um I don't know. I have an issue a lot of times with main characters of TV shows. Like, I hate Daenerys, I hate Tyrion, I hate Rick, I hate Harry Potter and Harry Potter. Like, maybe it's just I just like, yeah, okay, yeah, you too. Okay. So at least I was the only one. But typically, like, I don't care for the main characters. I like the characters that find themselves drawn into the orbit, which is cool. But I'm tired of Rick. I you know, he should just go. He should just go. And they say they're going to have a big time jump. Um, I mean, right now, Lauren is maybe not going to come back if they don't pay her. Maybe she's just doing this to, I mean, maybe she really does need more money. I don't know. But she is her pick at this point. Denai Guerrero also is going to have her pick too, because she did Black Panther, and now she's being moved forward into, and Sasha, the girl played Sasha, Sonequa Martin Green. She's doing the Star Trek now.
Discovery. Yeah,
Um,
she has her own show, and that show has already been renewed for a season 2.
yeah, and
So Sasha is good.
and I think I read that Chandler has something else. I have to look it back up again. But so anyway, I think we've kind of pretty much just talked ourselves out. Um, do you have any recommendations for anything right now that you have watched or experienced in the past 2 weeks?
Clarita Diet. You guys need to watch it. I guess Tara talked about it in the previous episode as well, and I'm going to talk about it again because season 2 is going to premiere this month, and you guys need to support that show because I read somewhere that it's not doing as well as Netflix expected it to do because it stars Drew Barrymore, so they were expecting a lot more viewership. So I like, yeah, I urge you guys to watch season 1 and then like binge watch season 2 when it comes out this March. It's an awesome show. It's a zombie show, and it's a comedy, a dark comedy zombie show, and it's way better than The Walking Dead.
Yeah, and also Jessica Jones just dropped. I know, so a lot of people are watching Jessica Jones. And I know that iZombie has come back. I haven't seen the episodes of iZombie because I need to find a place to watch them. Um, Now I know that The Shape of Water, which is the Guillermo del Toro movie, comes out on DVD tomorrow. That movie is excellent. I really enjoyed it. I'm reading the book right now, um, which is just an adaptation of the script by del Toro and who
I
was
mean,
the other
I
one?
liked that movie. I enjoyed it. It had some surprising queer representation that I wasn't expecting.
Right?
Well, yeah, I wasn't expecting that. But I was watching that movie and I was like, okay, Sally Hawkins, you're good in this role, but an actual mute person should have played that role. I don't know. Maybe.
Yeah, yeah.
I mean, that was an amazing role for someone, an actress who was actually mute to play that role. It would have been an amazing role for that actress.
I would agree. I was actually reading something. It kind of falls into the same thing that this guy, because recently there's been a lot of talk about subtitles, and I'm sure that you've seen it. I don't know if you saw the episode of the guy who was help the little girl do a movie, or it was a movie, and she was in the movie, and she plays a character who's deaf, and so she communicates via sign language. Well, they get to the movie, and there's no subtitles, and they invited this little girl who cannot hear the movie that she is in, and there's no subtitles. And like, I have to watch everything with subtitles because my parents are older. They're dealing with their hearing loss right now. And plus it's just easier for me personally to watch. To watch something with subtitles, and so I would have to agree. I think Sally Hawkins did a good job. But I think it would have been nice to have seen an actor, or an actress,
who
who
couldn't
can,
speak, like,
yeah.
was in that role, I actually thought that Sally Hawkins was mute. I really thought that. But then I Wikipedia'd it and I was like, no, she has been in movies. She talks. Because I couldn't understand how such a big, an awesome movie, and they couldn't cast an actress who was mute for that role. It was such an easy casting. But yeah, that happened. And then it got a lot of Oscar attention. And I was like, okay. But yeah, it felt like a missed opportunity to me. Like Sally Hawkins is great in that role, but it still felt like a missed opportunity.
Yeah. And when did really fast, when did Black Panther drop?
In February.
Okay. And it's reached what, $1 billion worldwide?
Without China's help.
Ah!
Without China. It opened in China this weekend, and but Black Panther didn't need Chinese money because it was able to gross more than 1 billion without China's help, which is kind of a good thing for studios because now they can create the movies that they want to create without worrying whether or not that movie will open in China or not. However, Black Panther did open in China and it did very well. It had a 66 million debut, $66 million debut. So that's great. Which
That's amazing.
yeah.
And of course, you have the people who are just, I don't want to go see it because it's a social justice warrior show movie. Excuse me. It is an actual warrior movie, my dude. Like, come on now. Um, all right. So, do you have anything else? Anything else to add? I think that we've hit about an hour. I thought we were going to be done in like 30 minutes, but somehow we managed to make this last an hour. I'm pretty proud. Um, do you have anything else to add?
Uh, I wish you good luck for next week's episode.
Oh, are you not going to be? Wait, are you not going to be here next week?
I am going to be. I'm still going to watch it, but I'm still wishing you luck because I know how tough it is to watch The Walking Dead.
I wait. I'm confused. Are you not going to watch? So are you going to be able to? No, not next week. I'm sorry. Are you being walk the next bitching dead? You are going to be on here with me, right?
Yeah, I'm going to be on
Okay.
here. But
Okay.
I binge watched the episodes. Like I didn't watch episode 2 when it aired. I watched it with episode 3.
Oh my gosh. You poor thing.
Yeah.
That's you spread your suffering out, man. I take it in a slow drip, but you're just
I was
like,
like,
no, punch
I
me
was
in the
like,
face with disappointment.
and just do it. Just like
Do it.
do it at
Do
once.
it.
I'll take it at once. I'm not going to wait another week. Just give it to me at once.
Oh my gosh, you should just go down to AMC headquarters and just knock on the door because I know you totally live near there, and just say just say excuse me. We have a webcast and we want to know whether or not this is just bullshit. Like we just need to know if we're wasting our time. And although I will find that people will always watch people bitch about stuff, so I guess at least we'll stay in business.
Yeah,
Um, I think that we should probably do I think it'd be fun to do like an episode about the best deaths and the worst deaths.
I mean, we should do that because there have been a lot of deaths.
There have been, yeah, and they always
There
do
have been a lot of deaths.
a like a thing on the Talking Dead where it's saying goodbye to characters who've died or whatever. I forgot what it's called. Slow it down and say I don't know. Anyway, Chris Hardwick talks about it, and I every time he like starts talking, my brain just turns off. So but yeah, so I am Bekah along with Farid. Tara is not here. But thanks again for joining us while we bitch about stuff and things with the Bitching Dead. Please follow the Bitching Dead and the Geeky Area on Twitter. Remember, we are a free webcast run off of donations from viewers like you. But thank you so much for contributing and helping our host hit the Geeky Area. See you on March the 26th. We will have a special guest with us. He is from Tara told me the night haunt, I believe. He will have another person to talk about different things. And but thank you so much, and we'll see you guys on the 26th, unless the show randomly decides to not air. No, that was really bad. That was so bad. Anyway, goodbye. Thank you.